France are in the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup, so how about we recreate their tactic that beat England? Yay! All the websites, all the lineups have this as a 4-2-3-1, and it kinda is, and it kinda isn't. WhoScored.com, there we go, you can see 4-2-3-1, Tchouameni, Rabiot, Griezmann as the kind of number 10, Mbappe and Dembele, Giroud up front. The average player position you can see there, Tchouameni is the most central of the three. Rabiot to his left, Griezmann in that sort of hole but playing to the right. And when you're playing Football Manager, your default formation, the one you set up, is your defensive position. That's how you line up without the ball. And then it's your instructions, your roles that make it what happens when you have the ball. You can see from the screenshots of the game, Tchouameni is definitely like the DM. And then you have Rabiot to his left, sometimes even playing deeper than Tchouameni, and Griezmann, who'll get back in a line as a free, but he's the one looking to break forward, he's the one they look to give the ball. And this was my initial setup. We've got the DM on support because he's not dropping in like a halfback. He is sitting in front of that defence. And as we saw from the goal, Tchouameni scored, he is getting forward as well. I originally went for Rabiot as a Roman playmaker, but I'll show you, we changed that later on, I'll show you why. And Griezmann, starting in this right centre mid as an AP in attack, will get into that hole, will look for the ball, and it makes it into sort of 4-2-3-1 without the ball, which works really well. We've got the fullback on support because Jules Koundé or Pavard, they're not traditional fullbacks, they're more centre backs that are playing out wide. But either Tio or Lucas Hernandez, the fullback on attack, they're the one more willing to get forward, get crossed in the box. Mbappe as an inside forward on attack, Dembele is the winger on support because you'd actually, for the England game, you'd probably say he was more here. But for the other games, he is more forward thinking, but he will get back and defend as well. And then Big Ollie Giroud up front as a deep line forward on attack. To get to the World Cup part, I simmed to November with Paris Saint-Germain using this. I put Lionel Messi in the Griezmann role, and he's absolutely smashed it. 8 assists. I think he's the top scorer in the team with 12, highest average rating in the league. PSG, 1 defeat, 3-1 away, defeat to Lens. Mbappe with 9 goals, 35 scored in 15 games, 10 conceded. And then you can see the general performance, 18 shots per game, 2.33 goals per game. They conceded very good and probably better than what the French team were doing in real life. This was a 3-1 win against Nice. You can see the off the ball shape, the sort of narrow, very tight back four, those fullbacks. Verratti playing as the DM, Renato Sanchez as the centre mid to the left, and there's Lionel Messi's starting position, and that's very similar to how France played. Mbappe is inside forward, Neymar is a deep line forward, and then Carlos Soler as the Dembele, the winger. And then with the ball, you can see, and this is the kind of shape you see from France. Mbappe sort of inside, not a winger. The number 10, that'll be the Giroud in the middle there. There's Griezmann making up that sort of front four, but you've got the 2 centre mids protecting. And this is Hakimi, who is a very offensive thinking fullback, playing narrow with that fullback support. This is what I changed for the France team. I thought the Roman playmaker was getting maybe a little bit too further forward. I've gone for Carriello because you see a lot of the defensive situations. Rabiot was actually in like this position, in between the centre back and the fullback, protecting the fullback. And that's what you want to see, and that's what the Carriello does, protects out wide, especially when Mbappe makes those runs inside as well. And everything else remained the same. And it worked out not bad. France, World Cup winners, unbeaten. Big 6-1 win over Tunisia. 1-0 against Denmark, 5-0 against Poland, 4-0 against USA. Extra time winner from Pogba in the World Cup against Switzerland, and then beat Denmark 3-1 in the final. First goal is something we've not really seen from Dembele so far, as a Jing can run all the way through, chips the goalkeeper for the finish. What a wonderful goal that is in a World Cup final. And then from a corner, Rabiot picks it up, edge of the box, slips into Mbappe, outside of the right foot, 2-0. Denmark threatened to make it a game. Ball through to Skov, who finishes past, doesn't look like Lloris. Not sure who's in goal, is it Mandanda? And then Mbappe down the left wing, cuts inside like he does, gives it to Ferland Mendy, who finds Giroud, and then it's Pogba getting that AP support, AP attack role into the box, which Griezmann would, and delivers. 3-1 World Cup win, tactic looking perfect. In this one, without the ball, it's quite interesting, as Griezmann's quite much further forward, and that depends on what Denmark were showing them. And the fullback's not as narrow, but you can see there Dembele not as further forward. Theo Hernandez getting up the left wing, but Tchouaméni and Rabiot protecting as they have all tournament. They actually look more compact with the ball, but it depends on what the opposition show you as well. But that's what we wanted, a bit more protection from Tchouaméni for Rabiot there on the left hand side. And you look at the numbers, 24 shots, 3.37 XG, and that's why they're sitting back more, Denmark, with that sort of back 5, back 7, and that's why you'll have Griezmann getting into those areas. So I'll go through the instructions. So I've got full back on support. I've not added many player instructions at all, if any. I don't think I have. Centre back on defend, full back on attack. Tchouaméni, DM on support. Griezmann, AP on attack. Rabiot the Carriello. Dembele, winger on support. Mbappe, inside forward on attack. And Olivier Giroud, deep line forward on attack. I've not added any player instructions because it's like, if the tactic works without them, use it without them. We're playing positive, playing fairly wide. The passing directness slightly shorter, slightly higher tempo, playing out from the back as France do. We're running at defence. Dembele, Mbappe, like they're going to do that. Be more expressive, that's where you get a bit more movement from Griezmann and Mbappe. In transition, we're not counter-pressing because France, looks like they're playing a mid-block, which we'll get to. We are counter-attacking though. We're slowing down the pace, giving it to the defence, rolling it out. Lloris is very cautious at the back. And then out of possession, if you watch the game, it's probably even a low block because France weren't really pressing until England got to the halfway line, but I've gone more for the mid block just for that FM part. Trigger press slightly more often. We've not gone full Gengen press at all, but get stuck in. You look at the way Griezmann was tackling and Rabiot was tackling, they definitely get stuck in. So there we have it. That's my France hybrid 4-2-3-1-4-3-3. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anything you would change this, anything you would tweet that you've seen from France's games. I think this works really well from what I've seen. In Griezmann works beautifully as that AP attack. Messi doing it for PSG as well. That's the position. Really good to see that role working in FM23. Give it a try. Let me know what you think, guys. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, from me, Andrew. Bye for now.